Some of us do a project on some random guy in history class or something, and we know that person better than we know ourselves. We know everything about that person. But then when it comes to ourselves, we don't really know deep down what is within ourselves. Like, who are you? Who are you when there's like nothing around you? Who are you when there's like no people around you, no nothing, like nothing of what you have, none of your belongings? You're just in a room, like you're just in a white room with nothing. Who are you, just naked in a room? Like, it sounds funny, but like actually who are you? Like when you have no phone around you, no social media, no friends, no family, like who are you, just alone? Like you need to know yourself. Take the time to discover yourself. Hustle culture. Okay, there is something extremely wrong with hustle culture. I think there's a huge shift going on in the hustle culture like realm. We're moving from this old like fast lifestyle into the slower, enjoying life, family values, more traditional lifestyles. And I'm happy to see it. But I think we need to discuss like what is actually happening. So I am someone that reads a lot of books. And right now I'm reading, I'm gonna grab it for you guys. I'm reading this right now, Marcus Aurelius Meditations. And I don't know if this is the correct translation. I know like there's lots of different translations. You can also read or listen to the audiobook online. But looking back on old literature, it just shows how much today's generation is lacking like depth and character. We moved from a society where we were thinking deep and it was all about philosophy and stoicism and honor, and now it's all about fast things. Like people don't care about their reputation, they don't care about their honor. And I think that is slowly starting to dissipate, but that was really what was going on in like the past, I would say like 5 years to a decade. It's been about getting money fast and like forgetting about values and just doing things. And social relationships were all about what you can get from the person, not about what you can give. And this is this end of this era. It's starting. I believe it's beginning, and I'm fortunate to be living in this like end of times where we are all like exploring our philosophies, our self-philosophies, our philosophies about life and our values. Like we're getting our values back in a way. It just feels like the human race itself is just starting to wake up, and not in like a sense where like wake up and see like, oh, what the government is doing. Like wake up and just see like what reality actually is. Like we are living so fast and now we have everything at our fingertips. This is a generation where like AI and technology is so abundant and we can really do whatever we need to do. Like things are becoming so easy in a way. Easy in a sense where like things are done for you. Things can be done for you. Like you don't have to outsource so many jobs. Like just being anything you need to do. Like if you want to start a clothing brand, like there's so many different ways AI can help you or technology can just help you. And like what we need to be now focusing on, because all that type of stuff is done in a way, like done for us. And now it's time to focus on like the internal, our soul. And the soul is the one thing in this life that is most important. And people neglect the soul so much, and they do such soulless activities, soulless tasks. And even when you're trying to get money, like people that are getting money through soulless activities, like robbing people, like scamming on the internet, like this is not aligning with your purpose. This is not going to get you the money that you need. Like when you acquire something quick, you lose it quick. Like you acquire things, you lose things how you acquire them. The important things in life take time. Like real things in life, like the things that you really, really deep down desire, like your soul like yearns for, are not the things that you imagine yourself to yearn for. Like you have this lifestyle in your head planned out, but what's actually important to you at the end of the day? These deep-rooted qualities that are like in such like, that are such vital to our character, are they just picked up like grocery list? Or are they something that is deeply acquired through experience and through the expression of our soul? Trust. To trust others. It is something you can just literally just wake up and start doing. To trust others is not to just be like, just to wake up and just start trusting. Like that is something that you have to acquire in such like a deep way. Like that is not something that someone could just tell you to do. Like I can't sit up here and tell you just start trusting or just have these traits within you, like traits to have. Being honest, being trusting, like these are things that you acquire through your own soul experience. Like it could have been the birth of your child. You learn to love. It could have been a horrible like social interaction that you had with someone and you learned about people and their situations and what they're going through, and you learn compassion. These are not things that you just check off on a grocery list. These are real life like characteristics that like makes a good human being. So also from this book, there's a famous paragraph, and I should read it to you. This is a long paragraph, but I'm going to read it because I feel like it's so important. Because if anyone knows about this book, they know that Marcus Aurelius wrote this as like a journal. So he didn't mean for this to be published. He was the emperor of Rome in, forget what year, I'll put it up. And he wrote in this journal. And it's just really, really beautiful because he had so much thoughts that he wanted to get out. And this was his way of getting through so many like challenges in his life. So this is the famous paragraph. Say to yourself first thing in the morning, today I shall meet people who are meddling, ungrateful, aggressive, treacherous, malicious, unsocial. All this has afflicted them through their ignorance of true good and evil. But I have seen that nature of good is what is right, and the nature of evil what is wrong. And I have reflected that the nature of the offender himself is akin to my own. Not a kinship of blood or seed, but a sharing in the same mind, the same fragment of divinity. Therefore I cannot be harmed by any of them, as none will inflict me with their wrong, nor can I be angry with my kinsman or hate him. We were born for cooperation, like feet, like hands, like eyelids, like the rows of upper and lower teeth. So to work in opposition to one another is against nature, and anger or rejection is opposition. This is a man with the true notion of Stoicism, to have no enemies. And just like my previous video, whoever angers you controls you. This is really a prime example of someone that took Stoicism upon himself and possessed self-mastery. I want to go back to the self-improvement community. When you watch these videos of Iman Godzi or Andrew Tate or I don't know, or any of these types of people, like podcasts, whatever you need to watch, make sure you take these with a grain of salt, because we don't see everything that's going on in their lives. There is this element of deep character and deep passion that is missing. And what that they themselves carry and possess, I do not know. These creators and content creators that you see in the media, but what they show to you lacks character, and it lacks passion. It lacks love and faith and hope and virtues that are not just acquired easily. Those are the most important things. Do not neglect these important virtues of like love. Love is like one of the most important virtues ever. I don't know if you guys went to like a Catholic school. I went to a Catholic school and we always learned about virtues. And like everything comes back later on. Like these things come back later on, and I'm like realizing like how important these things are. I was laughing at this back in the day. I'm like, okay, now I don't have to do work. I just have to listen to this virtue stuff. But now it's like, this is so important. This is literally the stuff that I'm so grateful that they taught us, because it's like it in the back of our mind, it programmed us to be aware of these virtues. And that's what really matters, which is just like another helpful footing when you're doing anything in life. Try conducting business without empathy, without love, without compassion. What is that going to look like? To conduct business, to make money without doing anything that aligns with your passion. Like I said, you're going to lose money quick. If you get money quick from a passion, from a hustle that's not aligned with your purpose, you're going to lose that money quick, or you're not going to make any money at all. So a lot of people in this like hustle community, they'll do like drop shipping and stuff, and they just won't make any money. They just won't see the results. And sometimes it's really not because you're not just working hard enough. It's because this is just not meant for you. This is like not your purpose. Like you are put on this earth for greater things. And some people it does work out for, and they have other like lessons to learn in life. We don't know what everyone's plan is. You need to figure out your plan. You need to figure out your purpose. Go out. This world is a large world. Go out and explore, travel, meet people, like talk to different people, do different activities, get out there and explore what your purpose is. Like, why don't you have any passions in life? Some people genuinely don't have a passion in life. Like, you need to keep going. Keep doing exploration and figure out what in the world is your passion. Like, what drives you? What drives you? Like, there is something that is there. And even if it's like dumb, it could be something that's really, really dumb to other people, but it's important to you. Everyone's passion is different. And sometimes you may think that like the passion that you aspire to work with, I guess you can say, is not self-sustaining in the terms of like financial terms, but you never actually know what you can do with that passion. So who am I to tell you what you can do and what you can't do? But we are moving into like this global reset. So again, do not get lost in this old thinking pattern of fast money, fast everything, fast relationships, like me, take. It's not about taking, it's about giving. The first thing on your list should be giving. You should always have the priority of giving and loving, and receiving should be your last thing. And then things come to you after you give, because it's equal exchange. What you give, you receive. And to put this into perspective, I was never the type of person to read fiction books. Like, I was just like, no, why would I read a fiction book? It's not going to benefit me. Like, everything I need to do, it needs to be benefiting me. It needs to be making me money. It needs to be helping me improve. It needs to be for my self-development. But you can actually just enjoy life and do things that you just genuinely enjoy. Like, if you are interested in geography, you can read books on geography. You can play geography things. Like, this hustle culture notion, if you're not in the hustle culture, then you're on the other side of the spectrum. But this is for people that are like on this like whole, we're on this like rat race of self-development and making money and always doing everything that's going to be for your betterment. Sometimes your betterment is just to enjoy. Sometimes you just got to do something that's just like, it's not going to better you per se, but you just want to do it. Something you just want to do. So actually in 2023 to 2024, I started to get into fiction books, and not like, I don't know what I'm going to rereading in the future, but I read so much like self-development books that I was like, okay, I feel like I started to stumble upon more like philosophical books, and I stumbled upon more historical literature, not historical like history literature, like literature that's just been written in the past, like past literature. And now it's like this whole new like level of reading, because you're reading on such like a deeper level, because you're not reading just like a quick how to, like the writing styles when you're reading, especially when you're reading like a translated book or something that was written in a different time, is so much deeper, and it takes so much more intellectual ability to break it down. So it feels so much more fulfilling after you read it, rather than just reading like these like quick self-improvement books that are written so dumbed down. Like, let's say The Subtle Art of Giving an F. Okay, that book was beneficial. I read it. It was a really good book. I'm gonna do like a huge book review as well. But that book was it was written in a way where like everyone can understand it. The reading level was very easy. There was swearing in the book. It was just very dumbed down, and it didn't take much like brain power to read it. And it's like a quick read. It wasn't like the quickest read, but I'm saying like it could be a quick read. And what happens when you read those types of books is you lose the passion that you get from like real books. Like, real literature has so much more passion, and it has so much more depth to it. So don't get lost in this like quick, shallow lifestyle of like things that are so fast and things that are so dumbed down, and everything that's like slang, and just like music that means nothing, and books that mean nothing, and relationships that mean nothing. Like, life is so much deeper than that. You can really discover like the depth within life. Like, it goes so deep. What is this life worth living if it's not like really thoroughly lived? Whatever thoroughly lived to you means, I don't know, but to me it means really experiencing like everything, like even the bad days, the bad emotions, the bad relationships. Everything teaches you something. Everything benefits you in one way or another. And I love reflecting on all of these things. I'm a very philosophical person myself. Sometimes it really is beneficial to really analyze something. Maybe it could have been a friend that said a comment to you, and now you're just thinking about it. There's people in this world that say things and do constructive criticism to help you, not to hurt you. Not everyone is criticizing you to hurt you. Sometimes people are actually criticizing you to help you. Constructive criticism to benefit you, because sometimes you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing wrong, and then you have to think about something that someone said. And instead of just taking offense to something, you actually learn from it. And this is also where you can take a situation like your friend tells you something, a constructive criticism comment, and you just Take a third person's like bird's eye view from the comment. Look at yourself from a third person. Look at yourself from a bird's eye view. Maybe there's some truth to what they're saying. How can this person that's trying to help you, because not everyone has bad intentions, how can this change me into a better person? How can this make me improve? How can I use this to become more self-aware of that action that I did that caused that comment? Truly, truly, not everyone is out to get you. Especially with his book, like the main theme that people talk about is that like he has no enemies. Niccolo Machiavelli, his book, The Prince, that book is all about like everyone is my enemy. This book is all I have no enemies. And so if you walk around this earth thinking everyone is my enemy, that's kind of what you're going to attract. If you walk around this earth thinking no one is my enemy, that's a whole different way of life. It goes back to that quote, if there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do no harm. Restore your passion. Go back to what really matters. What did you enjoy as a child? What mattered to you as a child? That's your truest form. If you take any message from this video, take this message. Do not lose yourself. Do not lose the old you. All your childhood wants, all your childhood needs. What did you really enjoy? Like what made you happy? Live slower, like be your old childhood self, like nurture that child. What did that child want? Like you're still that child inside. Now you're the adult taking care of you. You get to do whatever you want to do. You are literally free. You are free to do what you need to do. Depending on your living conditions, you are free to do whatever your inner child wants you to do. And never stop learning. Don't let this fast society stop you from learning and developing and growing. Don't let this AI generation of like everything's super fast, you don't need to know this information because someone else is doing it for you, stop you from learning and developing your own skill set. Like people back in the day, if you ask our parents like how to do this homework or to, like they knew what they were doing. If I have a child and they ask me how to do their homework, I've actually forgot a few things. This generation has not had the value of like knowledge as much as like the older generations. We need to really value knowledge and information and wisdom. Like wisdom is so important. It's wisdom that our parents and our grandparents and our great grandparents like had, this like deep wisdom. It's not this like quick information of what's happening in this country, because now we have everything at our fingertips, but they didn't have everything at their fingertips. They had this deep character, this deep depth to them of like personality, like real personality, not like fake personas on the internet. Real personality. Restore that, find that within yourself, like bring that out, like be authentic in the world. Don't lose your personality because you are not needing it. Like your personality and your depth is not obsolete. Don't let it become obsolete. Like we're in this new shift, this new global paradigm shift. That was a blip in the timeline. We're restoring our real values and our real traditions. And this is exciting. Like you can actually do whatever you want to do. And don't just wait. Don't wait for it to happen. Don't wait for yourself to retire to enjoy life and to explore your passions. Don't just do things for money and not explore your passions and align your purpose with your career. Like do it now. How much more fun would it be if you had your career align with your purpose and you're living like every day? It doesn't feel like work. No one else is going to follow your dreams for you. You have to choose that path. You have to wake up and actually choose that you yourself are going to do this for you. Like your soul has a destination that's lined up for them. Like you have to make the commitment. You have to make the decision to do this. But make sure you really prioritize yourself. Some of us do a project on some random guy in history class or something, and we know that person better than we know ourselves. We know everything about that person. But then when it comes to ourselves, we don't really know deep down what is within ourselves. Like, who are you? Who are you when there's like nothing around you? Who are you when there's like no people around you, nothing, like nothing of what you have, none of your belongings? You're just in a room. Like you're just in a white room with nothing. Who are you, just naked in a room? Like, it sounds funny, but like actually who are you? Like when you have no phone around you, no social media, no friends, no family, like who are you, just alone? Like you need to know yourself. Take the time to discover yourself. And also when you get to know others, you also get to know yourself. Get to know different types of people. Get out of your comfort zone. Okay, guys? Okay, I'm going to end the video there. If you guys want to work with me, my social medias are in the description. And I'll see you guys in my next video.